Have you ever experienced the excruciating pain of a honeybee's sting? It can burn for hours and leave a red swollen welt for days. However, the bee is the one that suffers the most in this scenario. Within minutes of stinging, it dies. It seems illogical for an animal to have a self-defense mechanism that's more detrimental to itself than to its attacker. But there's more this kamikaze defense mechanism than meets the eye. So prepare yourself with some thick gloves and eyes because we're about to uncover the secrets of bee stings in painful detail. Let's start with the fact that if you've been stung by a bee, it's probably your fault. Bees usually only sting humans if they feel threatened or if we approach their hives. If they're hunting for pollen, they'll leave us alone, unless we handle them roughly or step on them. And while it's commonly believed that all bees die after stinging, that's not entirely accurate. Only honeybees dies after stinging. When any bee stings you, it inserts its stinger into your skin. However, honeybees have stingers made of two barbed lancets, which gives it rougher edges that acts like tiny hooks. Due to these lancets, when a honeybee inserts its stinger into your skin, it can pull the stinger back out. Nonetheless, that doesn't stop the honeybee from trying to remove it. As soon as it tries to fly away, the stinger is pulled out, tearing apart the muscles, nerves and parts of the digestive system attached to it in the bee's backside. It's a gruesome way to go if you ask me. There is an even more tragic aspect to honeybees stinging humans. When honeybees sting insects, they can easily remove their stingers. The amount of fiber in an animal's skin causes the stingers to lodge, and the barbed lancets are designed to dig in deeply. Mammals have fibrous skin and making it impossible to remove the stinger without tearing it out. Therefore, honeybees don't realize that stinging humans will lead to their death. Bee stings inject a venomous toxin called melittin, which causes redness and swelling at the site of the attack. If you're allergic to bee stings, it's the melittin that you're allergic to, as bee venom dissolves in water. It can spread throughout the body quickly. If you're ever stung, it's crucial to remove the stinger and the pulsating sacs of melittin immediately to prevent more venom from entering your body. Delayed removal causes more melittin to be injected, leading to more swelling and itching. Despite being painful, subscribing and liking the video won't hurt you. So let's continue to learn about why honeybees sting and how they deal with parasites. For anyone with a fear of bees, what I'm about to tell you may seem like a joke. A large number of bees are incapable of stinging. Male bees and many female bees from various bee families simply lack stingers. The Andronidae, for instance, is a family of bees whose stingers are so small that they cannot sting. Another bee group called Meliponidae, also known as stingless bees, can be found in subtropical areas such as Australia, Africa, Southeast Asia, Brazil, and Mexico. In Central and South America, most bees are stingless. So if you're truly petrified of bee stings, now you know where to go for a vacation. Without a stinger to defend themselves, stingless bees like many other insects. However, similar to their stinging relatives, they use their bite to hold onto their adversary until one of them dies. So they're just as self-sacrificing as their stinging counterparts. Destinations nowhere is entirely safe like regular bees. Stingless beehives can contain between 3,000 to 80,000 workers. However, only a small number of stingless bee species produce enough honey to be farmed by humans. Nevertheless, because of their relatively harmless nature, many people, especially in Brazil, keep stingless bee as pets. So if you're seeking an alternative to traditional pets, a stingless bee colony could be just what you need. You won't need them to take for a walk. Moving on to bees that have stingers. Have you ever thought about they decide to use their stinger? Well, to understand that, we first need to know about pheromones. Pheromones are chemicals released by an organism that affect the behavior of other members of the same species, mainly through smell. For bees, pheromones are essentially to their survival, and they use them to communicate information to other bees. For instance, alarm pheromones are released immediately after a bee stings something, which alerts other bees to attack intruder. But how do they know when to stop attacking? A recent study conducted by researchers from the Universities of Constance and Innsbruck in 2021 revealed that bees determine whether to sting or not based on the amount of alarm pheromone in the atmosphere. They also discovered that bees have two internal thresholds that measures the pheromones level, one to start stinging and the other to stop. To understand when a bee should use its stinger, it's important to know about pheromones. These are chemical signals released by an organism that affect the behavior of others in same species. Africanized bees, also known as killer bees, are an ultra-aggressive and ultra-lethal species that have formed hives all across the Americas. They were created in Brazil in 1956 when African bees were taken there by scientists to develop a honeybee better suited to a tropical climate. However, 26 queens broke out of quarantine and began breeding with native Brazilian bees, resulting in the creation of this mutant species. These bees will fight back with all stingers, stinging at even the smallest provocation, and have fatally injured over 1,000 people. Victims have been found with 10 times more stings than those of regular honeybees. In comparison, wasps have stingers that are not barbed, meaning they can be used repeatedly without killing the wasp. Although their stings might feel the same, wasp stings are made up of different toxins than bee stings. By using the pH scales, which measures the acidity or alkalinity of a substance from 0 to 14, it can be seen that bee stings have a slightly acidic pH level ranging from 4.5 to 5.5. The pH scale indicates that wasp stings are slightly more alkaline with a score of between 6.8 and 6.9 compared to bee stings, which veers towards being slightly acidic with a score of between 4.5 and 5.5. This means that bee stings are approximately as acidic as tomato juice and beer, while wasp stings are about as alkaline as saliva, milk, and urine. Given these two options, most people would prefer to be stung by a bee. The pH scale not only highlights the difference between the bee and wasp stings, but also explains why people react differently to them. Although the body's response to toxins has many similarities, people who are allergic to bee stings may not necessarily be allergic to wasp stings and vice versa. It is important to understand the difference between two hornets. Between the two, hornets, which are technically a type of wasp, are larger than average wasps and have a reputation for causing more painful stings due to the high level of acetylcholine in their venom. Hornets can also become infected with Sinus motuni, a parasite that alters their behavior and ultimately leads to their death.